QTEEP, aren't you upset? Playboy Carti and Kendrick, they're working together. Isn't Kendrick supposed to save everybody, I guess? No, I'm not mad. And I'll tell you why. Because I don't care. I've talked about this many, many times. You can obviously care about more than one thing at once. I know a lot of people do this where like one person is super upset about like starving children and the other person's like, but don't you know cancer exists? And it's like, bro, you can be like invested in more than one thing at once. But because of the internet, it's not like people are just invested in more than one thing at once. People are invested in everything. They know everything every artist has done that's bad. And it is mentally the most draining thing, because I used to be like this when I was fresh out of high school, dude. I could tell you everything every artist did that was bad and why they're bad people. But you reach a point where you realize that they all kind of suck in some way. Maybe not to the same extent. There's obviously good ones, but there's a lot of them that are just kind of like ass. But man, do they make good music? Kendrick's not really in that circle because I feel like as a person, he doesn't do a lot of controversial things, but he does affiliate with controversial people. And okay. The thing is, right, when the beef happened with Drake, I feel like a lot of people thought that Kendrick was going to be like the vigilante of rap and he's just going to like he's going to be calling out people left and right. But it was very obvious that that beef was literally just personal. There's literally a period in Euphoria where it's like, keep making me dance, waving my hands, and there won't be no threat. He literally says, hey, don't bring up my family and we're good. I know shit about you, bro. Trust me, I know some shit about you. You don't want me to bring that up, and I won't bring that up unless you bring up my family. And then he did. And then Kendrick brought it up. There was never like there is a possibility that if Drake just shuts his mouth, we never get Not Like Us. There's a possibility. Don't get me wrong. And I think that would have disappointed some people, but it was personal. It was obviously personal. Like, I think what upsets Kendrick more than the fact that he thinks that Drake is a bad person is the fact that he feels he lacks authenticity more than anything. Not only is he a bad person, but he's like pretending to be this completely different person and kind of like leaving a stain on the genre as a whole with this like child actor, like theater kid persona of like a street dude, even though we knew he came from some like middle class, upper middle class family. Like, we get it. You visited your dad on the weekends. Listen, my dad spent most of my childhood in jail, and there's nothing about that made me think that I can just like approach people in a certain way. I don't know. It's just it's very strange. I know that he visited his dad like every other week or something like that. And but his dad lived in terrible places. So did mine. Actually, so did my mom, because we lived in poverty. But you know, it is what it is. I don't have any issues with Drake being middle class. I feel like there's a lot of people that bring that up like, oh, so I'm supposed to be mad at Drake because he had a good childhood? No, that's not the deal at all. The problem is that he had this good childhood, but he's going around and acting like he had this troubled childhood. Like he came from the bottom, you know? He literally has a song started from the bottom, but it is what it is. But yeah, man, I feel like because of the nature of the beef and because there's a lot of people that they're probably moderate fans of Kendrick, but they more or less hated Drake more than anything. These are the types of people that made this beef into this hyper personal thing. And don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun with the beef as well as somebody that's a huge Kendrick fan. But like, I've definitely met this rise of Kendrick fans who they really just hate Drake. And it's fine, you know? I don't like Drake either, but I don't really want to hang out with you guys because not only do these guys not like Drake, but like the only hip hop they'll listen to is Kendrick now. They never really listened to hip hop before this. And now they're giving Kendrick a shot because whatever. And they're being kind of annoying about it. I have no problem with Kendrick having more fans, obviously, than he did before. But it's like, I don't know. These new hip hop fans, I don't know. They're a little too much, man. Like, just enjoy it. Y'all took the beef and you made it like this personal thing where it's like, oh, well, Kendrick's going to be the savior of hip hop now, right? And it's like, why would you think that? Did you even listen to GNX? He said crazy shit in GNX. I mean, there's features in GNX that are not good people. I don't know what to tell you, man. Unfortunately, sometimes not good people make good music. Not good people make good music, man. And sometimes you run into somebody like Kendrick who isn't necessarily a bad person himself, but he's willing to take the risk of, I guess, working with bad people because he sees potential in them. He always saw that in XXX Tentacion, and I always felt the same way about X because I felt like a lot of potential there. If we could get him to really hone in on the craft and focus and, I don't know, maybe keep him out of trouble, there was a lot of potential there. But unfortunately, it's not even that he couldn't keep out of trouble, it's that he was killed by some people that wanted to steal from him. But you get the idea. Um, I don't think that everyone is completely irredeemable. Obviously, I'm not sitting here fighting for like R. Kelly, and I probably never will. I'll sit here and talk all day about how great I think some R. Kelly songs are, but I'm not exactly going to be the person who's like, honestly, can we just let him out? You know, it's not going to happen. But I'm not, and I don't know if maybe it's because like as I get older, I feel this way, but I'm not in the, I'm officially at UNC status. As a, you know, I'm a 68-year-old man. I could run for president. But I just don't, I'm not in the business to be as worked up. Like if I don't like your music, then I mean, for sure, I'm going to talk trash about you. And I'm going to be like, and Baca does have a weird case, Drake. Why is he around? But I want authenticity in my music because if you're going to be a bad person, at least provide me with some good quality music where you're trying. Put in some effort. The point is I'm not a saint. And I guess really nobody is, but I don't know. I feel like maybe we're too invested in being concerned about what every artist is doing, and being concerned about Playboy Carti and Kendrick working together is not like top of my priority. I did like the features though. They were good. They were good features. But am I going to go on like a vigilante hunt of my own, being like, no, not really. I mean, I literally made that video about DJ Academics and how pointless it is because he'll just hop on stream the next day. He'll say something crazy and then 2 days he'll hop back on stream. He'll have a bunch of viewers. Doesn't matter unless they're going to jail. You know, there's no point in getting worked up. But that's just me. I don't know.